everyone safe. I'm angry at what happened today. The people who came to this celebration should expect a safe environment. We had over 800 law enforcement officers, Kansas City and other agencies, at the location to keep everyone safe. Because of bad actors, which were very few, this tragedy occurred. Even in the presence of uniformed law enforcement officers, who again ran towards them and took them into custody. To the people who were injured in this tragedy, our hearts go out to you and your families. This investigation is just beginning, and we are working safely to clear all surrounding areas and businesses. This is still an active investigation. We will continue to keep you updated. We will keep you updated on Twitter and most likely a follow-up press availability. No. One of our victims has been declared deceased. We have right now we have up to 10 to 15 injured by, yes. Right now, we do not have an exact number of people who were victims of a gunshot wound. It could be upwards from 10 to 15 with one deceased. I do not have conditions on our victims just yet. I do not believe that any of them were children. Nothing of note.
Chief, what do you guys believe now prompted these issues?
That is still under investigation. I myself was outside when I heard the shots fired. It is an ongoing investigation. It's going to take us a little bit to determine exactly what led up to the shooting. I will say though, we do have 2 suspects in custody.
I have a question for you.
I have heard that as well. I have heard that fans got involved in the apprehension or the pursuit of one of the suspects. I cannot confirm that right now, but that is something that I have heard myself. Yes?
So you talk about when this started, sort of a timeline from there to the point where your officers responded to the point where you had KCFD helping to
Absolutely. As soon as the rally concluded, there were shots fired on the west side of Union Station. Officers were on scene in the area. I know one of the suspects was immediately pursued on foot. Like I said, there was 2 suspects in custody. I have heard the information that was just requested. I will confirm or deny that. But after that, immediately officers began rendering life-sustaining aid, calling in fire, which is the fire department, to also assist those victims.
You know, if there were more than 2 people taken into custody, because we had 2 people after you guys had made your announcement that 2 people in custody, 2 people live on our air being taken, handcuffed, put into vans. So
well,
the process is this investigation continues.
I don't know exactly the 2 that you're talking about that your camera caught on video being loaded into a wagon. I don't know that, but I can tell you that in and around that scene, it is still active. Not active in necessarily threats, but it's a very active scene. We're still investigating. This is still early on. We still have parties that are walking into hospitals.
Do you know anything about the suspects in terms of where they're from? Are they from?
I do not know that, but that's something that I also will be finding out.
2 questions. We were hearing upwards of maybe 20 shots. Can you talk about the number that you heard?
I'm hearing 10 to 15, possibly 15, with the one that is deceased.
Do you know anything about the time it's waiting to the hearing and the crowd?
I don't have anything about, I can't give you an answer on the timing. I can just say that that's when it occurred, and we are investigating what led up to that. Maybe once we get some of those details, we'll know why that happened at that time, but right now it's still too new.
Was it just one incident or multiple incidents that
is something that is under investigation.
Mayor Person Lewis, you talked about how you were on the field and you yourself had to run for safety. I understand we're still waiting on a timeline and trying to understand what exactly happened. But we're talking a Super Bowl parade, and this is what the country is talking about now. What is your message to this city at a time like this?
I second the comments by the chief of police. I'm heartbroken. First of all, I'm praying for the victims and the families impacted. I start with them. I'm incredibly upset, disappointed. I was there with my wife. I was there with my mother. We never would have thought that we, along with Chiefs players, along with fans, hundreds of thousands of people, would be forced to run for our safety today. I think that I'll let the investigation shake out before coming to any further conclusions, but I think the initial response absolutely is anger. You know, we have done a number of these now, and this is a day that a lot of people look forward to, something they remember for a lifetime. And what they shouldn't have to remember is the threat of gun violence, marring a day like this, injuring them and their families. This morning, I was actually thinking about bringing my child, as many people in Kansas City did. And I don't want us to have to, in our country, for every big event, think about a concern of being shot. As the chief noted, we had a lot of law enforcement officers there today. They did exceptional and outstanding work, and I will second that again. Because on your timeline point, I was inside of Union Station. We heard something. A number of us start running, and I see a stream of officers going the exact other direction. In, with guns drawn, ready to address danger. And that was the situation throughout. People who responded absolutely immediately. But I wish that we lived in a world where they wouldn't have to do that. I wish we lived in a world where we wouldn't have to see incidents like that. But I'm as heartbroken as anybody. We will do a full and thorough investigation. I hope that we bring whoever this is to justice. And we will continue to try to make sure that we can be as safe as possible. However, when you have people who decide to bring guns to events, when you have people who are deciding to try to mar events, celebratory ones like this one, all of us start to become members of this club that none of us want to be a part of, which is those who experience mass shootings. I hope for Kansas City this is one of the last times we experience them.
Are the players in any danger?
What's that? Sorry, I'm going.
In danger at any point?
Was I in danger?
Any other players? Chiefs players?
You know what? I think we'll let the investigation take a look at that. The police department responded effectively, I think incredibly quickly, to make sure that people would be out of harm's way. That being said, a number of us had to flee from a situation because we heard a sound of gunshots. So I'll let you answer your own question in terms of whether you think that's something that puts you in danger or not. In my view, anytime shots are nearby, you don't know where they're coming from, you don't know who's firing them and all of that, then perhaps there is a situation of danger. But
Thanks, guys. Thank you guys.
Can I ask a fire question?
Of the 10 to 15 injured, did you say all of those gunshots that were going in, do you have a sense of how many or some of those also hit?
We've covered that we don't have that information.
I just have a fire question.
Hold on, 10 to 15 is what we have, potentially 15, one deceased. I don't have a condition on the other gunshot victims.
Gunshots.
Correct. That's correct.
We don't know how many.
One fire
No,
question.
I do not.
Because Chief Graves said the.
We're gonna have a lot of updates later, guys. We gotta go inside and gather this information. I appreciate it.
What are the updates, Jay, later?
Well, just look on Twitter.
I just have one, I just have one, excuse me. I just have one thing to say. This is not Kansas City. I'm angered by what happened, but I want you to know that the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department and all the law enforcement officers that were there today, that were serving and protecting, did the best that they could, and I'm so proud of them that they ran into danger, getting 2 people into custody, and at the same time rendering life-sustaining aid to those victims. We were here for a safe celebration, and because of 2 bad actors or more, it is why we're standing here today. We will recover as a city. My heart goes out to our victim who is deceased, but your police department stands ready, and we are invested in the safety and betterment of Kansas City. Thank you.
We'll send you guys more updates on Twitter, okay?
You were
Follow
just
the
listening
Twitter account
there
with the updates
to
that we
an
have.
emotional Kansas City, Missouri Police Chief Stacey Graves talking about the shooting that occurred at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl.